Everybody, Palm Springs Cindy, and I am here to share a few things with you guys this evening. If you remember my last video, I mentioned that I had something that that something was up that I was not ready to share it with you yet. Well, I'm going to share it with you now. And so fasten your seatbelts. January 16th, I'm going in for a deep plane facelift. I'm going to Dr. Chopra, Dr. Ritu Chopra. And if you remember the doctors, that television show that was on in the afternoon, there was a Dr. Andrew Orden. Well, it's Andrew Orden's office. And actually, from what I understand, Dr. Orden has moved to Florida, and I guess he's turned his practice over to Dr. Chopra. Dr. Chopra has two offices. He has one here in Rancho Mirage, and he has another one in Beverly Hills. He's supposed to be very good. My first choice was that Dr. Karam or Dr. Aram. You see him on YouTube. He does the vertical restore. And I actually have experience with him from a friend of mine who went to him 2 times, and both times I was the person that took care of her. So I was the one meeting with the nurses and going over the medications, and I'm on their email list, and so I wanted to go to them, but I talked to their office. And they are he is now charging, I think it's $80,000 or $83,000 for a facelift. That's strictly the lift. That has, if you want a laser, if you want your eyes done, that is not included in the $80,000. Or they might have said 83. And he is booked until next October. So he was not an option for me. So I've been, I have talked about this before, and I've said that when I get the money, this is something I really wanted to do. And that, I have a 4-part series on my facelift that I had 22 years ago. And so I'm a bit familiar with the process, but 22 years ago, things have really changed. And in the meantime, I've taken care of some relatives and friends who have had procedures done. So I've been asking around, and I have this one friend who is a surgical nurse in a cosmetic doctor's office. And so she gave me the names of a few doctors. And then she said, really, if I had the money and if I was going to do this, I would she said she would recommend Dr. Chopra, that she said his work is excellent and he's, renowned or whatever. So I did a little investigating, and so that's who I decided to go to. Now, let me tell you the process that I've gone through so far. The first thing was I made a decision to, I narrowed it down and I made a decision to see him. Now, most of the time, cosmetic interviews are free. Dr. Chopra charges $200 to come in and see you and go over, the program. So, and he has it's like a cottage/apartment house that he has in Rancho Mirage. It's right across from the river for those people who live in town. And he does, it's really cute. It's really cute. It's this nice little cottage, and it has lots of different rooms, and the different rooms are for, if you go get Botox, if you're going to get a deep facial or whatever. But he also has a surgical room, and he also has a place where you spend the night. So anyway, I went to him. I wasn't sure I was going to go with him, but it was worth paying the $200 for me to interview him and the staff. see what the facility looked like. Well, I was very impressed with him, and I'll tell you why. First of all, he's quite young. And for some reason, I think that he's not so young. I mean, he's been doing this type of surgery for many, many years. Well, you know, since Dr. Orden's been on the doctors, Dr. Chopra has been the other surgeon in the office while Orden has been on TV. So, I like it that he has 2 offices so that he's hip and on trend with what's going on in Beverly Hills. And so he's hip and on trend with what's going on in the Palm Springs area. I think because he's young, he's fit, he's a family man, he's quite attractive. You know, he's young. But, you know, his overall being is one of health. The gals in his office are gorgeous. They're all like weigh about 10 pounds and beautiful. So it's a real climate of beauty, I'll say. And so I know that he's involved and heavily integrated with the cosmetic beauty industry. And I like that. He has an excellent track record. So, okay, anyway, I've decided to go to Dr. Ritu, R-I-T-U, Chopra, in case you want to look him up in case you want to Google him. And it will be in the Rancho Mirage office. So I went in and the doctor said, you know what? Sat down and the doctor looked at me and he said, what bothers you? And I said, this bothers me. You know, my turkey neck, my jowls, basically my turkey neck and my jowls. And I said, I would also like some type of laser for my wrinkles here. I'm getting a dark spot here, under eyes, the wrinkles around here, just to make my skin look better. Because they are so, oh my gosh, I mean, they are very painful, but they are so worth it. So he said, okay, now let me tell you what I think you need to have done. Okay. So he like took his hands and he went like this, you know, to like define my chin, this area, you know, kind of went like this, he went like this, and I went like this. And he said, I think you need, he said, yes, I agree with you. You need a deep plane. There are 3 types of facelifts nowadays because I've studied them all. One is just a skin lift, and sometimes that's all a person might need. Another one is called a SMAS lift, an S-M-A-S, and that's where they go under your skin, obviously, and they lift up, but they don't go under the muscle. And sometimes that's enough as well. What I'm getting is what's called deep plane, where they're going to go in and totally lift up my muscle, pull up the muscle, and then drape everything on top of it. You can look up deep plane facelifts. You can YouTube it. And so I'm having that done. He said it is a little trickier since I've already had one facelift, even though it has been 22 years ago. And he talked to me about my incisions. He also said he's going to redo my ears. Let me show you my ears. And I'm glad. Like right down here, he's going to cut this off. Because this doesn't look real red hot. So he's going to cut this off and make that shorter. So I like that. And then he's going to do something with one of my eyes, I think is crooked or whatever. So he's going to do let me see, I have everything in here. And he's going to do not that side. Let's see over here. Is it over here? I'm having it done in the morning, 7. I have to be there at 7 in the morning. My sister-in-law is going to take care of me. And the doctor said I should be restaurant ready in 3 weeks. Okay, here's my list of everything I'm getting done. I'm not going to go over prices. Okay, I'm having a deep plane face and neck lift. A lateral brow lift, so just one side. I'm not sure what side it is. It might be this side. I don't know. I'm having a CO2 laser. I'm having a fat graft put under my eyes because my eyes are sunken down in here. So fat grafting there. But, oh, and then like in my face where I'm chubby, where I'm fat, he's removing that fat. It's called buccal fat removal. And a night of recovery. And then I have to go 3 times into a hyperbaric chamber, an oxygen chamber, after it's done. So that's what I'm having. Oh, I'm also having lip lift with corner lift. So let me tell you what that is. So right here, how my lips are starting to turn down, he's going to make that so it's not down, just more like, not a Joker smile. And then he's going to do an incision here and then lift this up a tiny bit, he said. Maybe like that. So then I don't need to ever get injections or, plumpers in my lips. And I think that, I think that's a good idea. So he's going to do an incision here, lift this up, and then lift the corners up as well, right in here. So that's what I'm having done. I'm having it done, like I said, Jan 16. And so when I had to have a battery of tests to show that I was healthy enough to get this done. That's why I had the EKG. That's why I had the chest x-ray. So normally, and I think some of you mentioned that I think somebody mentioned, like they wish their doctor gave him an EKG or, required that in a chest x-ray. But this was strictly for the facelift. And even my internist said, this is a lot of testing to be done for a facelift. But, I guess better safe than sorry. So, and then after he talked to me about, what he was going to do, and I said, I want this CO2 laser, my décolleté, as well as my face. So after I spoke with him, I decided, they said, do you want to book it or what do you want? And I said, you want to think about it? I said, no, I'm going to book it. Well, I had to give 10% down right then and there, non-refundable. And actually, I already changed the date because I was supposed to have this November 15th. And I thought, I don't want to do it November because then it's Thanksgiving, then it's Christmas, then it's New Year's. So I called him and said, can I postpone it? And she was like, I don't know. But anyway, she did get back with me and I was able to do it. Okay, so I put 10% down. Now, the rest of it is due 10 days before surgery. So I have to take the rest of the money in Monday. And then they gave me all this stuff. And I'm going to share it with you. I have not gone over this stuff yet. I don't know what that is or what that's for. But since I have to take these. I had to stop taking any kind of Tylenol or ibuprofen 2 weeks before surgery. So I have not taken anything like that. So I take this ahead of time to help not bruise. I'm going to take this to put on my face after my, it's a Hydrant Pro Mineral Sunscreen. I think that goes on after my laser. And then I have these Surgery Clean. It's a body cleaner. I think these are pads. Because once you get that laser, you have to dip those pads in water and then wipe your skin off and pull off all the dead, dry skin that's been burned. And then you reapply the lubricant, like a Vaseline lubricant. You leave that on. Then you wipe that off with these little towelettes. And you do that for so many days. And then he gave me this kit. It's a CO2 laser post-procedure instructions. So day one, you do, I don't have my glasses, let's see. Day one, apply retractant. That would be this. No, that would not be that. Oh, it's got to be in here. And then, well, it just goes, I can't read it. The printing's too small. So this is a kit that they gave me, and I have to go over that and know exactly what I have to do. And then like I said, my sister-in-law will take me to the hyperbaric chamber. I think 3 days in a row or one every other day. When they've made the appointment for me, So 3 times for that, and I probably could do it more, but it's expensive. Okay, like I said, I'm not going to say prices, but and another thing I'm not going to do, I'm going to make comments non-active, because I know many of the people that watch me are going to be against this, and to be honest, I just don't want to hear it. I've made up my mind. You guys that have watched me, you know this has been brewing for quite a while. I hate this. There's lots of stuff I can do myself for improvement, but I can't get rid of this. I can't get rid of this. So, and I can't get rid of wrinkles and dark spots. So I'm going to do this, and then that's all I have to do. All I have to do the rest of my life. Other than, all the other stuff, just holistic speaking. So I think, I say to myself, Cindy, start thinking about this, because I've just been thinking, oh, it's so far away. It's another 6 weeks. It's another whatever. But it's time to start thinking about it. This Jan 16, and to be there at 7 in the morning. So really Jan 15. So I have to start emotionally preparing myself for this and going through my directions, reading about everything. They gave me really good notes, and so I need to memorize or, really have that down. I have to go get my frozen peas and put them in little sandwich snack bags and have those ready. I need to get my water into a nice Tupperware bucket and keep that cold in the refrigerator for my wipe-offs. I need to get any prescriptions that they've asked me to get. I don't think they've asked me to get any. Well, maybe once I've had it. And I have seen the little room where I'm going to be spending the night. And I have to spend the night that first night. So if they said it would take 5 hours. I was a little surprised. And they said everything you're having done is going to be timely, will be like at least an hour. So like the laser will be an hour, the lip thing will be an hour, the eye thing will be an hour, and then of course the fat transfer under my eyes will be an hour. So I said, well, if that's what it does. So I'm going to be totally put out. I'm going to be, I have an anesthesiologist that will be there, and so my tests all came back good. And so I just have to get myself emotionally ready. I may farm Poppy out for the first few days because she's very scratchy, or longer. And I need to get my house ready for when my sister-in-law comes. I want to have, like the bedding all clean, my towels all clean, everything ready. I have to wear things that I can zip or button up the front. I can't do anything pull over the head. The first night, I'm going to, be like a mummy. They told me that. And I'm going to have drains for 2 days. I do know that. And maybe longer. I don't remember how long. So that's basically what I know so far. I'm going to take you on this journey with me as much as I can. And so I hope that's okay with you. Like I said, I'm going to disable comments for this video. And if you're desperate to talk to me, email me. My email's on my YouTube site. So, all right, you guys, that's what I wanted to tell you. And I hope you're not totally Shocked, but that's okay. P.S. I love you. Mwah. Until our next conversation. Bye-bye.